Hey, what's up guys, I'm Praetorian and welcome back to Crusader Kings III, Legends of the Dead. So sorry we haven't had an episode over the last couple days. I recorded a beginner guide to accompany the Millennia Let's Play, and unfortunately it took a lot longer than expected, so now I'm like, I don't know, 2 days behind on my recordings. So let's go ahead and jump into today's episode. I went ahead and sent off marriage proposals for all of our children. So we had 2 younger sons who needed a spouse, and then we also needed a spouse for our daughter. So I chose somebody who had very good prowess and could serve as a knight. So we did have to do a matrilineal marriage so that he'll come to our court rather than our daughter going to his. He's not a lowborn character, but not really anybody important. That's something we don't often do in our roleplay series. So I thought we'd do it in this one. And there certainly was some better knight options, but they didn't have traits that would have been potentially inherited by our grandchildren. And also they weren't Persian. And so these are the 2 spouses for our other sons. So she's got the intelligent trait, so there's a good chance that their children will have some form of the intelligent trait. And then Manu here, his spouse, has the Hail trait. So we married for traits, mainly, because we didn't really need alliances, though I think one of them, and this one's just a lowborn marriage, I believe that his marriage did come with an alliance. So like 1,300 troops there. So not much. I also set up the tax collectors. So that's pretty much it as we had it before. And so that'll start bringing us in a bit more money. I think we were going to finish up this war by doing the siege here. Once we finish that, that should be enough to go ahead and get control of all Georgia. And then once we have the money, we'll be able to usurp the title King of Georgia. And being a king will allow us to create duchy titles, because as of right now, our problem is if we create those duchy titles and then our character dies, then we lose control of part of our territory. So obviously it would not be good, because you know another child, one of our other sons, would inherit that. So we have a lack of sheriffs apparently. There's a plague that's spreading rapidly through Byzantine territory. Seems, yeah, it's a major plague. I was going to say, because it is really spreading rapidly. It's called little leprosy, and it's the measles. And so those are the effects for the characters and the barony and county modifiers. But yeah, as a major one, this one's going to spread to a much wider area. You can see it's already had 35 fatalities, and our army's not far away. Now, I'm not entirely sure how it works for the armies. I'd assume they'd be affected as long as they're in a province where it's located. Somebody was wondering in the comments if armies can spread plagues. I don't know if they can or not, but I know that characters can. And so the question is, can a knight, if they're in a province where there's plague, can they get it from the province and then they can go back home and then bring the plague to your capital? So this is an event we've seen many times whenever we're doing this particular, the strategy lifestyle focus. And we're going to go ahead and get this one. So that gives you both of the bonuses here. So very nice. And we're just about done here, but that'll be useful in later conflicts. Alright, so let's go ahead and enforce our demands here. Take control of all the territory but this little hatch here. And because they're Orthodox, the question is it part of the kingdom? Because if it is, it might stop us. Yeah, I think that might stop us from taking it. Okay, so this is not going to be an issue because of the fact we're not usurping the title, we're creating it. Excellent. So he no longer has that, or maybe it was she, I think it was a queen. So she no longer has that title. And so all we have to do is create 1 duchy title. But this is going to require a lot of money, because you got to have the 425 to create the Kingdom of Georgia title. And then you gotta have the money to create just a duchy title. So you could do like the Duchy of Georgia if you wanted to. And then that would cost 212. So basically we need like, 600 something. So let's go ahead and disband our armies and maybe not do war for a little while we raise up these funds. Although there's gonna be all kinds of events that are gonna require us to pay large sums of money. So we need to fix the accolade situation, and we also need to assign these men at arms. We weren't able to do that while we're in the war, So we're just looking for the locations that are best. Oh, I suppose we need to find out which ones are going to be ours, because we haven't given out these titles yet. I think we're going to grant out these 2 titles here to our sons. The 2 that don't have titles yet. So I suppose we'll give the second son this title. So I intentionally did not make them tax collectors, even though they were apparently were pretty decent at it. Because I knew that we're going to be giving them these titles here in today's episode. And then we need to give him this title here. So that's 2 of them. And then I believe we have a barony. Yeah, we've got a barony right here. Right here. That we can grant out. This is a temple. So we could give this to a knight. Let me just take a look and see if we got anybody. Or just a random character. Yeah, I'd be absolutely fine just giving it to probably not our caravan master. He's lowborn anyways. Yeah, these are all lowborn characters. Yeah, it seems lowborn characters are the only option, so let's give it to this young guy here. He doesn't like us right now because we unlawfully executed his family. Who did we unlawfully execute? This must have been before we started this character, because I would not have executed a giant. You guys know that this is definitely not something I would do. Maybe we shouldn't give this title to him. Alright, so we gotta find somebody else. Yeah, that clearly happened before we started playing as this character. What about this guy? He's fine. So I want to give him this title here. Alright, excellent. Didn't improve his opinion all that much. We need to take a look at the tax collector situation, but one thing that I noticed here in our knights is I think the accolade thing might be kind of broken, because our caravan master's being marked as an acclaimed knight, and yet we don't have any acclaimed knights. We have this position here, which is currently inactive. Nobody's in that because our marshal died. I thought we had a replacement for that, and maybe it was the caravan master. But yeah, it didn't work as it was supposed to. Now we could reinstate this one, but not really excited about it. So we might just create a new one. Probably the better way to go. Don't want somebody who's already really old though. Could do this peasant leader as your acclaimed knight. He's not bad. Suppose he would be an option. We could just take a look and see what what's available for him. What all options he has. Of course, he has the Marauder. We could do the Manipulator as well. We don't really want that one. And we don't want the Marauder either. Seems we don't have any other options here besides this guy. He does have several choices, including the Vanguard, which I like the Vanguard one. Valiant would be another option. I mean, I guess. We like army damage. So first among the guard is what this would be called. Sure. So it's going to create that. And so we're getting the army damage plus 10%. Could have gave him that barony title. Too late now, of course. We do need to take a look at the tax collection situation. Assign those vassals. Some of them are probably going to be in here. Our sons, I think, we'd want to assign to him. Oh, we got a bunch of people in here, don't we? Probably just our sons, because we need money. And we'll get a bit more if we assign them over here. So all the unassigned ones. This won't get as much levies, but that's not what we really want. We want money. Alright, so that should be solved. Let me just take a look and see if we have any other issues that we need to be aware of over here. You know, just to get rid of this, we could just destroy that. See, we do have a decision here. So we could try and find somebody here. But I don't know if we have more than one accolade position. We just created one. No, we don't. So it doesn't matter anyways. We just have to wait. We could get rid of this, because I know I don't want to have that as one of our accolades. Yes, we didn't station our men-at-arms, since we didn't know what territory we were still going to be holding on to. I suppose we could figure that we'd have these ones. We might want to just change where these guys are at, because I think this is a better one. Yeah. So yeah, I think we should probably take the pikemen and assign them over here. And then we'll take these guys and put them over here. And then the last one we'll just go right there. Anything else we need to be aware of? We do need to appoint a successor to this position, and it looks like we actually do have somebody who could do that. He's not a great choice because he's kind of old, but you can't look for somebody as long as you have a successor, so it is what it is. So we're going to appoint him, and apparently we can ransom somebody. We'll take a look at our prison, see how many people we have in there. Just making sure there's nothing else we need to be aware of. I guess we could do all the alliances now since we're done with the marriages. I don't want that being something that impacted us on whether people would accept our marriage offers. And then let's go ahead and look at our prison. It's just this guy. That's it. Although you can't actually ransom him. Despite the fact that it says we can here. Okay, I'm not entirely sure why you can't do it through this tab, but sure. We'll go ahead and ransom him for the 10. It's not worth recruiting. And then we also want to take a look at our advisors, because I believe we're increasing control in a place that we no longer, yeah, we don't directly own that. That's our son's territory. We'll move him over here. I think everybody else is good. All right, excellent. So now it's just about raising up some money so we can create those titles. We could do a war. There's a lot of different wars I'd like to do. We talked about doing this one here to get this territory. We won't be able to create those titles if we go to war though. So we could always save that for our son. We could also wait for our son to take over for forming the kingdom. That's an option as well, because when you think about it, he's going to do much better in money, considering the fact that he's focused on stewardship. So we did get the first of the Shadow of Faith Dawn events. This is our chance to give up on our attempt to get to the Paragon of Virtue. And then it will also give us a better modifier, though it's definitely worse for stress, but it'll increase our piety gain. Or you can just give up on it. And that's not what we're going to do. We're gonna keep going for it. I don't know if we can get it or not. We're now at 4.48. We still have a lot that we need to get to. So some secret's been exposed, probably something we don't care about. Yeah, I assume we don't really care about this. So I've been thinking about it, guys, and I think that is what we're going to do. This character's focused on war, kind of. He's a misguided warrior. And so it makes sense to do the war under him, and then to focus on raising the funds under his steward son. And so that's what we're going to do, guys. So let's go ahead and declare war on this guy as soon as we built up our men-at-arms just a little bit more. I know we don't exactly need more troops because we have our allies, but I'd like to have some additional troops here. So let's go ahead and increase the size of some of these men-at-arms. How much money do we have? So we'll get them up to level 5 and then up to level 6 here. Just spend all of our money. So we need to build those troop numbers back up. And to make sure we have a bit of a war chest as well. We were not successful in swaying this character. I think we have like a really low chance of doing that. It's 50% now. It actually went up from the, I believe it was 35% before. As I enjoy a relaxing bath with my mufti Nida, he suddenly brings up a more serious matter. My lord, he whispers, last night, naive Guzdahem was here in the bathhouse with an entourage of unshaven miscreants, whores, and degenerates. They then engaged in acts I could scarcely bring myself to describe, and proved unwilling to be evicted from the premises. And this is far from Guzdahem's first offenses either. Nida pauses, looking apprehensive. You should denounce him before his proclivities becomes a stain on the whole house. So we say, very well, I shall rebuke him. This will gain us some piety, which of course is our goal, trying to get the Paragon of Virtue, but would decrease the house unity, and Guzdahem would gain the trait denounced. He'd lose opinion with us. And Nida would like us a bit more. Remember, this is our uncle. It says he's a tax collector. I think this is broken, guys. Because anytime you assign anybody as a tax collector, they never leave it. They never lose that position. But you can see Guzdahem is not a tax collector currently. Now, given he could be somebody else's tax collector, but I don't know who, because you can only do it for your liege. And in fact, you can't do it if you have any titles. I think that's what happened, is that he was a tax collector and then we gave him a title, and maybe that's when it breaks, is if you have a tax collector and then you give him a title. But I could have swore I seen some of our past tax collectors who we didn't give titles to, but they were also still considered tax collectors. I think it's kind of broken and never removes it. Just want to point that out. It does seem to be a bit of a bug. And now our uncle is super old, and so really the main thing that we need to consider here is the house unity being decreased. But you know what? I think we're going to rebuke him. You know, we're trying to become a paragon of virtue, and this is really the best way to do that. It gets us much closer to completing our goal here. So we need to do something about this stress. We don't have any money to do an activity, but because we have the athletic fame trait here, we can work off some stress. Just lose a little bit of opinion when we do that. We can add some friendly competition to our training. In this case, we might get a rivalry with our knight. Or in this case, we would increase opinion with this vassal and knight. Yeah, I suppose we could do that one. No reason not to. Get the same bonuses. Don't want to form a rivalry with the knight, though. Yeah, just raising the troops up, getting martial perks as well. So this is all going to help us in the conflict. So we're going to do the hit and run. Raising up the war chest. And apparently we're also having grandchildren. We're going to name her that, since she is currently in our capital. That's the reason why we're able to select her name there. Alright, so do we have the troop numbers raised up? Just about. I think all the men-at-arms are good. We could increase the heavy infantry up by a little bit more if we wanted to. Currently at 5,000. His troop numbers have actually gone down. And remember, those aren't all his troops, those are also his allies, and we have our own allies. But do we have the prestige to call him in? Is the question, because we don't have a lot of prestige. So I don't know if we'll actually be able to do that, but he is currently in a conflict, so he's distracted. I don't think it's much of an issue, honestly, guys. I think we should just go ahead and declare war. So let's go and get this started to try and get control of all that territory that we technically already fought over, or fought for, I should say. Could get even more here. It is tempting, because that gets you key Persian territory. It does leave this little spot in the middle here. But honestly, it seems like it's a lot more. Let me just take a look. You're getting 1, 2, 3 here. Yeah, this one is quite a bit more, guys. This is really the better option. So I think we should do that. It is going to cost us piety, but we got plenty of that, so not really much of an issue. However, we can't actually do this because our fame level is still down below illustrious. Okay, so you can only do conquer the county. Damn, that's a shame. I suppose we'll do this simply because we went this route and we built up the troop numbers, and we'll just go over go after one county. It's really not worth it, fighting a whole war for just one county. But I didn't take a look if it was a possible war before we started building up for this. So here's what it is. This is what we're gonna do, and I guess we can keep our troops here. Yeah, that's a fine location. It's not that far away. All right, so let's go and slow this down, and we'll go straight after the county. And you know, we don't have to conquer a whole duchy as we would in that other war. Do we want to bring all the troops over here? Probably not. Let's actually split up just a little, split off like a little patch of units there. Let's take a look at this character and his traits. So he is a diplomatic, education, compassionate, content, and diligent. So out of all these, I think it's probably diplomatic matters, or that's what we're gonna guess. So yeah, once we get over here, we'll split off just a few troops. And apparently our uncle is already dead. Okay. So I thought he would die soon. Huh. That's interesting. He was not our tax collector, wasn't it? This guy? Alright, so we have our 4,000 troops here, and I think we're going to lead our own troops. I guess we can select a commander here. Why not? We'll put, I guess we'll put this guy in charge. Alright, so he did like our option we picked there, as we expected. And we're also facing a rebellion. Okay. That's fine. So we're going to say never if Hessen's law is to serve their lord. That will decrease the control in those locations. And then we're going to have to fight these rebels. Alright, so it's just a small army here. Still kind of a pain. 23 months, so we got plenty of time to go over there. It doesn't mean we're going to have to increase the control. But yeah, I expected that. We saw a little alert up there. I wasn't too concerned about it. So yeah, we'll go wipe them out as soon as we take this so that we can start getting the ticket war score for having the war goal. Now, we can't send these troops over there. I don't think that would work out well. Because they are just some levies. Now, these are just levies too. I don't know, maybe they could win. Because it's just levies against levies. If you don't attack from, I guess it doesn't matter how you do it. Yeah, we can attack from this direction. If our commander's better, and we get the defensive bonuses, I don't know. They're losing troops too. Yeah, maybe they can take them out. We'll see what happens there. How good is their commander? He's actually pretty solid. So he's going to have the higher commander advantage. Let me see if there's anything we can do, because we got a trait here that's not really all that helpful. So what if we gave him, well, the unyielding defender would help, but you're also losing a lot of advantage. Could try this guy instead. Yeah, I guess we'll do that. Because now it's saying that we'll get victory. So we'll just see what happens here. Maybe lose it. And our son has married her. Okay, so that's that marriage. I think we had range, and now she's of age. Unfortunately, our son is ill. That's not this, well, as soon as the plague is gone. Never really affected us. We'll get the siege done here in 2 months. And I'm curious what will happen with these battles, this battle here, because we just got like 2 armies of levies throwing themselves at each other. It seems that we did win it. Okay, well, that worked out nicely. I don't know if it's enough to actually destroy the army, though. We'll see. And to win the war, because that would be super convenient, which it was. Excellent. So we did that with just some levies. And so we could recruit this guy. We've seen that he is a decent commander. He's stupid, apparently. Not a great knight, though, so I don't really know what use we'd have for him. And he's a rebel, so let's just kill him. Execute him for rebelling against his proper lord. Alright, so this siege should be done soon. We have not seen the enemy yet. Again, they're probably concentrating on their conflict over here, trying to get that wrapped up first. But we can expect they'll probably be arriving soon with the assistance of their allies. But we've already taken over, or just about taken over, the location that the war is over. We got an event here, a dietary dilemma. So 2 children were collecting clams from the beach in Cuba when they came upon a carcass of colossal size. Beach dwellers claim that the flesh of this dead sea creature is still incorrupt and very tasty. But my Mufti Nida pulls me aside during the council meeting, seemingly concerned. Is the consumption of whale meat truly permissible to us Ash'ari? He ponders, I cannot make a ruling in this matter. We should wait for the statement from a very respected scholar, but you should forbid the people from eating the meat of this beast, just in case. So we can say, give me some of that meat, I must taste it. I have a chance of getting a health boost, or getting a penalty. Could say very well, let us wait for the ruling, or it must not be eaten, I shall go there myself and burn it. We might get dread. He'll admire our resolve. The carcass could explode though. Yeah, we'll just take his advice. We're not going to get piety on any of those. I was hoping that one of them would result in a bit of piety, but that wasn't the case. So we did finish up the siege. Still no enemy armies. I don't really want to march all up in this territory either. I think that's unnecessary. So probably just go ahead and siege this location here. Yeah, that's the best way to do it. Was go after that. Let's start sieging those locations down. We'll be getting the war score ticking up, hopefully, because we have the objective. Alright, so we started the siege. It's going to take a while. It's an 8-month one. What's important to note here is that he has won his conflict. And so now he can concentrate his forces on attacking us. Alright, so his armies have arrived, and he's got his allies right behind him. And so if we can't finish this siege up in the time, then we could be in trouble. Now, if we send him here, I think he outnumbers us. This is a hill train as well. So let me go over this way, because you don't want him to wipe these troops out, because I think that's what he's probably coming up to do. So yeah, if we go this way... Yeah, he's going to go after that location now. Okay. Maybe he was always going after that, but I feel like he was going after my 950 dudes here. Alright, so we have a disease that's currently spreading. Another plague. Oh wow, look at that. So we're starting to see a lot larger plague. So this one is actually a minor one, despite the fact that it's spread to so many different areas here. Okay. So that is in our territory. Far from our capital. Did we just get... no, we're infirm. Why do you get the infirm trait so early? Seems like they changed that. Seems like we're always getting in our 50s. Anyway, we just got critical stress levels because we're diligent. But yeah, it's a bummer. It seems like you get infirm so quickly. Wasn't always like that. We did finish up the siege here. That was not enough to win the war, so we're going to have to do an attack. And this is in the plains too, so you don't get that defensive bonus. We also failed in our sway. Now we did capture some prisoners here, but they did not help us in this regard with the war score. We are getting the ticking war score. I don't know if we can win this. Let's take a look. So he is in debt, so that's going to help us. We do get the defensive buildings even if we don't have defensive terrain, so maybe. Let's go ahead and bring the other troops, because that's considering it without these guys. So with them helping us, that might be enough. So this is the next Shadow of Faith event. It's going to give us a 50% modifier from Hyatt. Let's do it. Let's see if we can't get there. I don't know, guys. I think somebody said it was 10 years is what you get to complete it. So I don't know when our father died. Seems like it's been a while. So I don't know if we'll have time. So we can't really do anything about our stress. Unless we wanted to, are we leading our own troops? Just take a look here, we are. Okay, so yeah, we wouldn't be able to do an activity. We just gotta wait for the mental break and see if we can't get something favorable here. We don't want to convert. We could become reclusive. It does reduce our stress by a little bit. Yeah. Just bite my lip and try to stay focused. We're about to hit critical stress level 2 now. Not a good situation. I don't know if we can get here in time now. Oh, just barely. And that's because we have it on speed 5. So our troops are sitting there for a while. Just barely got there. So now we have to see if we can win this battle here. Kind of seemed like it was on the fence before, but it looks like it is turning in our favor. We might not want to be leading our own troops because of the infirm trait. I don't know if we were the best commander now. We still have a good marshal, and then you get the +5 for commanding your own troops. And that was enough to win the war, by the way. Alright, excellent. Who's going to force our demands? Not much, guys. It's just a county. But we'll take it. And now we're going to need to maybe give our guys some time for some rest and relaxation. Maybe do an activity. Try and get rid of some of the stress here. We should take a look at our prisoners, because clearly we have a few. And this guy could ransom himself. We just need to give him a little bit of time to raise some additional funds, because I want all of the money, because I'm greedy like that. In fact, we got a couple counts. So we're going to ransom all of them. This will really help us out here. 25 gold here for this countess. And then this character, doesn't look like there's anything we can do. Oh, okay, we gotta wait anyways till these are accepted. Let's go ahead and see. That's still not an option because the count wouldn't accept. So you could just release him. He wouldn't be useful to us. You don't need to convert him. Could just execute him, but then you get stressed and lose piety. So just get the weak hook, I suppose. And so now we're just waiting for him to get the money. Full 50. I want it all. And an activity. That's what we're going to do. So maybe a feast. I feel like a firm character here might not want to. I don't know if there's any funerals we can do. We can take a look at that as well. But might not want to go on a hunt. We haven't done all the funerals we could do. We have a daughter who died from smallpox. We could do the funeral for her. And you do get a lot of piety from this. And also you do lose a lot of stress. It seems like the best way to lose stress, honestly. And I know it's been a while since she died, but she deserves a funeral. So yeah, that's what we'll do. And again, we won't read these funeral events. Just get the options that give us the best bonuses. Let's go and speed this up as well. And seems that there was another, it's a granddaughter? Another granddaughter born. Sure. We can do Sada, which is named after, should be named after her mother. So that's our daughter who's having all those children who we married off to that one night. It seems the plague has receded. So should we spare no expense to rebuild? I don't know what counties were all infected. How are we doing? We're trying to move to level 5. Yeah, I guess we'll do this. We don't want to lose legitimacy. And we got the money, because we did a cheaper activity. And our son has married as well. So he was waiting for his betrothed to come of age. And we're still waiting for some events to happen here with this funeral. So we can get rid of that stress. And this is not the one we're looking for. But yeah, we can become friendlier with this naive. But could also just go with had an interesting conversations. That's what we'll go with. Increases the learning and diplomacy. That reduces our stress a little bit. We need a lot of stress reduction here though. And so this is a learning challenge with a 78% chance of success. Could form a friendship with our son here. I don't think we've given him an education focus or anything yet, so we want to go ahead and do that. First time I think we've seen a child here though. So yeah, we'll go with this option here, the learning challenge, and see if we can succeed. Get some piety. Try and comfort our son here. And we were successful in comforting him. Right, excellent. Just moving towards that paragon of virtue. But our son, we need to get him taken care of. So he is pensive. It seems that pensive is pretty prominent among our children. That might be one of the culture traits or traditions or whatever they call those. We could do stewardship. Sure. So we need to also get him educated, don't we? Not bad. So let's go ahead and find him somebody. We could do it ourselves because we're pretty good at stewardship. Besides the fact, despite the fact that we are a misguided warrior, and our learning is pretty decent too. And I don't think we're actually doing anything. So why not? Yeah, let's go ahead and educate the child ourselves. And spending a bit of time with our son might be just what we need, though he is not an option there. Let's take a look. He doesn't have a guardian yet. Do I have some settings over here? Nope. That's curious. Why is he not an option? Yeah, I'm not entirely sure why we don't even have him in here as a choice. I feel like I've seen this before though, and we figured out what it was. Maybe it's because he's at the funeral here. I don't know. We'll wait till the funeral's done, and then we'll see if we can do it. Alright, so this is going to get us legitimacy, a ton of piety, and a bit of stress reduction. So we did get to the Paragon of Virtue. Alright, excellent. You never know if you're going to actually be able to complete that when you do it. You try and achieve the same level as your father. And we also got a martial perk. So we should see an event about that. Also, the ransom offer has been sent to us. I forgot all about that, guys. So yeah, we'll go ahead and do that. Let's go ahead and select the living off the land perk. See if there's anything else we need to be aware of here. We got a daughter. Wait a minute. Her husband died? Oh, he was slain in that battle. Okay. I had seen that somebody was slain. I didn't realize it was him. So, do we want to give her another husband? Sure, why not? I guess we'll look and see what options are available. Again, it's going to have to be a matrilineal marriage if we want to do it the same way, where we have him come to the court. And so, just sort this by prowess. Just make sure there's nothing here besides the inheritable traits. And this guy here actually has the highest prowess. He's gallant, but he doesn't have the trait you'd expect, a prowess one. That's interesting. Also, he only has 2 personality traits, and he's a horrible guy. I'm not marrying my daughter to somebody so terrible. No, thank you. But he does have a pretty decent prowess, though. But yeah, we're not going to do that. We'll go with one of these 2 characters here. He's Egyptian, he's Georgian. This kid here is still young. He's strong and robust. He's been denounced. But quite impressive. Only 9 years old and he could beat half of our knights. He's going down the intrigue education though. I suppose he doesn't come of age for 7 years. That's a long time. Giving her a period of mourning probably wouldn't be a bad thing, but geez, that's kind of long. Let's go with this Georgian. Alright, so send that off. And we'll have another knight. Help us out in our wars. Alright, so we are still at a critical stress level. We haven't had that event fire yet, though. For the Shadow of Faith. Do you have to wait until the period's completely over? Maybe. Yeah, maybe you gotta wait until the period's over, so it doesn't fire as soon as you get to Paragon of Virtue. Okay. That's fine, we'll wait. At least we know we completed it. I just hope it fires before we die. I don't know when that's supposed to happen. Our sister, or half-sister, is also able to marry. Okay, I guess we could do... You know, we could do this for an alliance. Or we could just continue bringing the knights in. With inheritable traits here. So you gotta do those matrilineal marriages. For the house. I suppose she could marry. Yeah, sure, we'll do that one. This does actually result in an alliance here. Just some weak guy. Yeah, so she can wait a little while. She just came of age. And we did get this men-at-arms negotiation again. That's a fantastic one. Help us raise up this money. Remember, we're trying to get up to, I think it was like 600 something gold. In order to create those 2 titles. The Duchy title and then the Kingdom title. And there's our Shadow of Faith event. Seems there was an avalanche in this barony. This is not one we directly hold. How dreadful. And this is going to reduce the taxes, development growth, rather than us paying the money. We are trying to save up for something. Alright, so we did complete this, so we're going to get a little bit of stress reduction, and then also get this modifier here, which will reduce our piety, but also reduce our stress gain, stress loss. Or we can go with this option, Heaven and Earth will forever know my name. And then we'll get plus 100% monthly piety, and increase stress. So is this like the goal of trying to get all the way to religious icon? Because I feel like we wouldn't be able to get to that. Even with this huge modifier. And stress is such a problem for us. So I think we're probably going to go with the sunset one. I think we've achieved our goal here. I suppose we could have went on the Hajj, because our character hasn't done that. And we are old and infirm. Maybe that'll be our routine here, is that we go on the Hajj whenever we get old and infirm. Whereas the issue is that we are trying to save money at the moment, so I'm not really going to be able to do that. And you know what? We're sitting on all these titles. I took these 2 titles here. And so yeah, that's hitting us. We're getting penalties because of that. So we need to give these out. I didn't even think about that. Alright, so let's just give out, probably just give them both out to the same character. I know that we have our son here, who we're apparently, oh, now we can educate him. So we're going to educate him. And then we can give him the titles. We'll just give him both. So yeah, we want to give him... Oh, we can't give him the temple one though. So we should probably give that out to somebody else then. First, yeah, let's go ahead and do that. So we'll give this temple out. We need to set this to default. And just grant it to, I don't know. There's nobody from our dynasty we want to grant it to. Somebody with the highest learning. And it isn't back this character here. Yeah, whatever. Makes sense to give it to him. And then we'll grant this out to our son. Since he's the only one that doesn't have a title yet. And I don't know if that'll secure us more titles in the succession. Looks like it won't. Yeah, no matter what, we have to give up 3 of them. So he's going to get the title right next to him. Same with him. So that's actually working out nicely. And it's all titles that I would give to him anyways, I suppose. So it's not the worst succession situation. Although, you know, we're certainly having poor health, but we could live for several more years. We'll see if we can't get this kingdom situation set up. But that could change the entire inheritance, though. That could cause some issues. Especially with that duchy being created. That could cause some real problems, actually. Might have to give it out to kind of avoid it so we can pick who we want to have it. So I guess that really should determine which duchy title we create, knowing that we are going to have to hand it out to a son. Could also destroy it so you don't have those issues. I suppose that's an option. So the Armenian Sweats has broken out. So we'll summon the physician, see what he says. And so we're going to go with the soft approach. That's a route. We'll go for this one. I think that's what we did last time as well. We can negotiate an alliance with our son here. And it looks like successful. So now we'll get this nice modifier here for the plague resistance. And seems that we might need to take a look at our council. We don't have to put the powerful vassals in here though. I just want to see who they are and if any of them would be really good. I guess it's all family members here though. And almost all of them are pretty good, except for our half-brother, the Marshal. I mean, he's not fantastic, but he's better than both of these 2 characters. This guy would actually be a really good Chancellor, but still doesn't compare to our half-brother. He's absolutely fantastic. We just got a really good crew here, again, outside of the Marshal. Our family is very skilled. Alright, so we're now earning a lot more money. And so we should get there quicker. This title just keeps on falling back to us. Oh, that one, damn. Alright, so now he's the Accolade Knight. I was worried he would end up becoming the Accolade Knight. Now, he's not bad. Probably he's just old. And so he's going to be losing it again. So every time the title switches hands, you lose that glory. So it's hard to rebuild it. So yeah, we need to give out this title again. I'm hesitant to grant it to anybody. You know, we could grant it to that guy. It's kind of like a death wish, though. He already has a title, though. Oh, he has this title here. Okay, so we're not going to give him 2. We'll have to give it to somebody else. We can take a look at our knights, see if there's anybody here that doesn't have a title other than the Caravan Master. There's no option among our knights, so let's instead give it to this Spy Master, who's a giant. Yeah, he could be our new knight. Yeah, I think that'll work out nicely. So I think we need to find a successor here. In fact, we already have a successor, which is actually our son-in-law. Well, that's interesting. Okay, so that'll work. Now, I did not set up the secondary trait when I made that role, but it's Huntsmaster currently. Secondary doesn't matter that much because it always changes like so often. We got a war here being asked to join, and this is the Caliph as well. So we probably want to assist him. So we're going to accept that. I mean, I don't know if we'll assist him, but he's clearly losing. But he's attacking in this war. He's defending in this one. This might have been the one he called us in. So he's winning one while losing the other, but clearly a lot of troops over here. He's having some problems, but we're very close to getting our titles. I think we might have enough money already. If not, we'll have it soon. So raising up our troops right now might not be the best course of action. Alright, so we got an event here, Witchery and Salvation. What commotion is this? A crowd led by the baying voice of Nita is circling some unfortunate soul. So that's our Mufti. Pushing through, I finally discover Bellet, which is our wet nurse and court physician. She's defiantly defending herself even as Nita's voice rings out even louder. And furthermore, the moment you stepped outside to gather plants for your so-called craft, the cursed Armenian sweats started ravaging our lands. You are clearly the cause, you worthless wench. Bellet jabs a finger and fires back at the crowd, as the crowd mutters angrily. This is quickly getting out of hand. So we can say Nita is right, we cannot be too careful, and we'll mark her as a witch. Now, they'll say we have fair reason, which is really just his accusations, but that's enough apparently. But we're calm, so we'll gain stress. Instead we say, let's think this through, shall we? It's a diplomacy challenge that we'll most likely fail in. Enough, cease your baseless accusations. We could form a rivalry with Nita. We'll lose stress though because we're just. And she will get the herbalist suspicion. Okay, and she'll also be grateful to us. Or we can say, perhaps the Bellet promises to give up her craft. She would lose the herbalist trait. I feel like this is the just thing to do, honestly. Yeah, we're gonna go with this. And I don't care if we piss off our Mufti. These are baseless accusations. Alright, so unfortunately we do have to end the episode here. Next video we'll go ahead and I suppose create these titles. Let me just take a look at what the exact amount that we need in order to do this. So we have to create a duchy title first. You know, all of these are going to be the same cost, so it doesn't matter. They're 212. And then once we have that, we can create the kingdom title. And this is for the Kingdom of Georgia, which is 425. And so that is in total 637, which means we do have enough. So I think something as significant as creating your first kingdom title is something you do in the beginning of the episode, not at the end, because there's all kinds of stuff that comes with that. You know, we'll have our own royal court and all kinds of other things that happen. And so I think we should do that in the beginning of the next video. So that'll be the first thing we do. We'll create that duchy title, and then we'll create the kingdom title. I hope you guys did enjoy this one. If you did, make sure you leave a like on the video, subscribe to our channel, hit that notification bell, and leave a comment. I do hope to see you guys on the next episode, and thanks for watching.